Is there any truth to the rumor that the offensive line has hijacked the media room?
Yes. There's a lot of truth to that. Yeah, it's actually nice in there. It's a little.
Yeah, we know.
You got a lot of room, it's good air conditioning, good airflow. You know, have a little kitchen in there and stuff like that. It's huge. Yeah, it's really nice.
The media room,
Yeah.
So you've been doing this. Is this year any different for you as far as getting ready and getting in the flow these first few days?
No, I mean, I think we've changed. Like, there's some different acclimation periods, so you don't go straight to full pads like on day 3 and stuff like that. But most of it's the same. You reinstall from what you did in the spring, and you just get the fundamentals back, get moving, get your body, in football shape. No matter how much you run and lift in the off season, there's nothing like doing 10 plays in a row and things of that nature. But we're getting in it. I think today we're up in the tempo a little bit more, so it should be good.
Joel, how about the vibe of the team? Is there a feeling that this is the start of something big?
Yeah, we're not thinking that big picture right now. Right now, we're just trying to get better every practice and put together good practices. Because it's such a long journey, even to get to the season and then to get to the ultimate goal. But right now, we're just trying to get good practices and get in a good rhythm with the guys we got out there.
Hey, Joe, what did you see out of Jed last year, and then how big a jump can he make this year?
Yeah, I thought he did a lot of things well. I thought he was very sharp in pass protection for the most part, and did some really. You saw why he was like first round tackle. You know what I mean? His athletic ability, the way he moves, how he can move guys and stuff. And I think O lineman taking that first and second year leap and having an off season this year a little bit more than last year is going to be big for him. I think he can make big moves. I think he has a chance to be in the upper echelon of left tackles, and I don't know if it's going to happen this year or next, but I think if he just keeps working and improving, he has a chance to be really good.
Joe, I know you said before that Baker's the same guy in many ways that first got here, confident and all those kinds of things. What have you seen from him, though, in terms of maturity and kind of growing into, not only being a franchise quarterback, but a team leader?
Yeah, I think he's gotten better at taking jokes, No, seriously, but
That's part of it, right?
no, he's doing good, man. He just, like you said, he's connected with pretty much everybody on the team, and I think he takes responsibility for the offense now, and it's of course not always his fault, but when the offense doesn't perform to its level, he takes that and puts it on his shoulders and say, hey, how are we going to do this to get better? What are we going to do? What steps do we need to take to get better? And that's what you want from a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he gets to shine when he deserves it, and he gets ridiculed sometimes when he doesn't. But I think he's coming to the forefront, and he's the right guy for that.
We've seen a lot of change, Joel, with everything. All the coaches are back. Same offensive line's back. Coach Callahan's back. Just how much does that help starting these things off?
Yeah, it's big. We're installing the same offense for the most part. There's some tweaks. We're using the same techniques. We've changed a few little things, but nothing crazy. And when you can work with the same guys next to you, it's a big plus, man. You get that chance to really develop, and the more you play with somebody, the more you understand their body and how they step. If everybody's trying to do the same steps, some people take bigger steps, some people take little steps. Some people don't talk as much. Like, there's all types of little things that you need to do to get used to a guy. And we have all 5 of those guys coming back, and we're getting coached the same way. So it's a good thing for us.
Since Baker's got better at taking jokes, and you guys have probably got better at dishing them out.
I try, but then he'll come back pretty tough. So I'll here and there when I have my opportunity. I don't think of anything, but if it's out there for me, I'll take my shot.
So what is the next step for you and Jed? You just talked about getting to know a guy better.
Yeah, we just keep. I mean, the crazy part was, like, we didn't have meetings with each other last year. So if there was something that I saw on film, it was like, either got to text this guy or tell him when we get back to the field. And now it's like we can have hands-on learning. We're in the meeting room. If I see something on film or he sees something that I'm doing, we can just communicate a lot easier that way. And so our communication is going to improve, and then just continue to work on those double teams and things where repetitions matter. I think reps are one of the things that you learn the most with anything in life. If you get more reps at something, you're going to be better at it. And so we're just going to keep improving and working towards that.
Were you texting him multiple times a day?
When we had the online meetings, a lot of texts were going back and forth. But now we're in the building, so it's a lot easier.
When you woke up today and knowing fans are going to be here, were you pumped? I mean, just to get through camp,
Yeah, you get that feeling. I think it used to be the first day we had fans out there, so it takes a few days. I was just expecting them to be there the first day, but we got the bleachers out, and it's I know it's not the same, but it's going to be exciting. And I checked the weather this morning, and it was like in the 70s, so that was a huge win for O-linemen. And but yeah, it's starting up. You got fans out here. I remember last training camp, it felt more like practice instead of training camp because we just didn't have the same atmosphere.
Joel, is this the first time since 15 where you've had the same guys on both sides of you going into the season? I feel like
Yeah.
at least someone new on one side of it.
Yeah, I think so. For the most part, I would say that's probably the first time we've had that.
How much does that change how you go about practice when there's not at least one new person next to you?
Yeah, like we kind of talked about it. Just you're learning the other guy's body, and when you have someone new, there's times where you just step on each other's feet a lot more, and you're tripping over each other. Things where you're just getting used to how they play and how they communicate. But now it's like you have that kind of stuff down, so you can get into the finer details of things and really fine tune your position, your technique.
Joel, after all your time here, what's it like for you to be on a team that has a legitimate shot at winning the Super Bowl?
It's great. There were some years where every year you have like you come into training camp and you feel like you have put together a team that has a chance to compete. You know what I mean? I think finally we put something on paper last year. We put it on film where it's like, okay, this team does have a chance to compete. So it's been great. I think having the guys in the locker room and seeing guys that have won some Super Bowls or been in Super Bowls and knows what it takes and to compete against those guys is pretty cool. But we're going to take it one step at a time. We got to do the work to get to that. Coach Stefanski's favorite word is work, and he doesn't let us forget that. So every day we're going to work for it. But it is good to be in that position to hopefully do some good things.
I know you guys don't want to look back, Joel, but in 2019 there was a lot of expectations and things happening. There's so many guys on this team that, do you guys learn from that? Or was it a learning experience to be able to apply to this year on just how to handle it and how to get it done?
I think it's two totally different teams, even though we have a lot of carryover. A new head coach, new GM, all those things are different for sure. But I think the guys in the locker room understand that. And I wouldn't say it was an expectations issue in 2019. You know what I mean? But I think all the guys in this know that whatever's said outside the building, until we actually start playing games and performing, none of that really matters. So we're just going to go out there and do our best and work and get ready for week one.
Joel, one of the most amazing stats on your team last year was Chubb averaging 10 yards per carry in the fourth quarter last year. Some of that was you guys, some of it was him. What is it about him, though, that impresses you most? What makes him unique as a running back relative to other guys in the NFL?
Yeah, he's uncanny ability to not get tackled. I mean, if it's like broken tackle, stiff arm, juke, finishing speed, he just kind of does it all, and you don't really know what you're going to get because there's times where he can run someone over or run through somebody, and other times where he just runs down the sideline. And I think with him and Kareem, the more runs we get called, the more we have a chance to kind of lean on the defense. So there's going to be a bigger chance to break those. And I know a lot of those yards came from big runs to end the game. He's just a special guy, man. Like great teammates. In my 8 years here, Nick Chubb's one of them, and he just does everything right off the field, on the field. You never hear him complain, or really never hear him at all. But I mean, it's special to block for that guy and Kareem as well. And that'll be tough, but let's get 10 yards of carry in the fourth quarter again this year. We'll be in a good spot.
Do you see all the Nick's workout videos? Did he
Oh.
join the line with some of those squats?
He beat us probably. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. Those power cleans are just like college. I was like, I was a pretty good power cleaner, but I was never touching 420. I mean, that stuff's pretty impressive stuff, man. He's freaking nature.
I know it's early, but do you have early impressions of the defensive tackles?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of guys in there, and I think we have a lot of experience. We have some athletic guys. Malik came over. He's been in the league going on 10 years now, I think, and I think he's kind of spearheading the development there. But Jordan's transformed his body this offseason, and it seems a step quicker. And then you bring guys in. We drafted a couple guys, and we have a couple undrafted guys and some older guys, Damian, that came in. But I think we have enough guys that we're throwing out the thing that's going to be an open competition all training camp, and whatever kind of guys come out of it are going to be good. But with those defensive ends, I think you're going to make a formidable front four. It's going to be tough, and I think we're going to have some battles in training camp, so it should be good.
During the pre-years, did you know that the team wasn't? When did you know the team wasn't going to be very good? I'm thinking of 16 and 17 in particular.
Oh, I mean, when we didn't win games, I guess.
Right, but I mean, can you sense?
I know. I mean, like I said, you come into the season, you have there's the work you put in. Like for me, I still train the same. Like I still got ready for the season, so there was always this thought that like, hey, if things break our way, like we're gonna have a chance to win these games. And in those years, we obviously didn't win too many games. And when you start the year 0-3 or 0-4, 0-5, like you kind of realize like, all right, we're not the greatest team in the world this year, and we gotta do something and work at something. But there was never a time in training camp where I was like, man, we're not going to be good this year. You have that faith and the desire to try and go out there and compete.
Joel, Jarvis said the other day that last year was the toughest for him personally, just because he was coming off the hip, and then he had broken ribs. And just what does it say about him that he didn't miss a game except for the one he wasn't allowed to play?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, his character and the way he, his professionalism is a good word for it. Like you look at his career. Now I think that was his first game he's missed, and it wasn't really his choice, but he competes and he wants to win, and I think you look at some of the best players just have that uncharacter competitiveness. He wants to go out there and compete and help his team out, and that's something that you appreciate as a guy. You see this guy playing through it, then you got to go out there and play when you're a little bit banged up. So it's pretty impressive.
Maybe think back to the Hard Knocks video, right? But how big a part did he play in kind of helping to change the culture? I know it's just not him, but
yeah, no, there's a lot of guys that were part of that, but obviously he got brought in, and we kind of had a tough year or a couple years, there, but he was one of him, Baker, Nick, Coach Stefanski, all those guys are really part of JC. They have these mentality of like, hey, like it's about something, the guys next to you, it's about something bigger than yourself, and you kind of bring that in, and you want to compete for the guys next to you and the Cleveland Browns, and he was definitely a part of that, getting the right guys in the building.
Everybody's been impressed with the way Odell has come back from his injury, but it seems to me that Hubbard's injury was more serious and it happened later in the year. What can you say about him being here on time and practicing?
I was in and out of this summer of Cleveland, and he was here, rehabbing, doing his thing, and for him to be on the field, I think it's pretty good. I don't know the exact, specifications of the injury, but I know it was pretty serious, and he worked all offseason to try and get back for training camp, and he's back, and obviously he was a huge part of our O-line last year. A lot of guys missed 1 or 2 games here and there, and he stepped in, and played really well at guard and tackle. So he's a big part of it, and it's impressive. I mean, him, Odell, all the guys that really came back from those came back from those injuries are putting their bodies on the line, but they're doing the right thing. They're doing a good job.
What does Hubbard feel he has his game back yet?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're easing him into it, but from what I know, I think when he's out there, he's 100% ready to go.
Bill, I know you were able to work out pretty regularly with some of the offensive linemen over this offseason. How does that work translate here to training camp now that you guys are together in facilities?
Yeah, lifting and stuff like that, you just get to know the guy. I mean, we have a pretty good line group. Me, JC, Jack, and Wyatt hang out a bunch, and then Jed was there sometimes. And it's just, you get to know the guy, you get to know what makes him laugh, his family, things of that nature, where you just feel better about things. Then when ideas come to your mind, you bounce them off each other, you get to pick things up. But just being around the guys is just something where it's like, hey, like, maybe it matters a little bit more to you because you're playing with a friend and stuff like that. It's more than a teammate, they become part of your family and people that you truly care about.
Any good Wyatt stories?
I mean, I think you guys heard them all. They're all over social media, right? No. I mean, I probably have a few, but we'll keep those when the cameras are off.
Speaking of hanging out with the guys, now that you're able to gather again, lineman dinners are a time-honored tradition. Is that something that will come back this year?
Oh, yeah. We've been talking about it. I mean, even just like the Monday nights, going into off-season when you couldn't have dinner with the team, it sucked. I mean, I think it sucked for everybody, but it sucked last year. I mean, we were playing football, and we were blessed to be able to go out there on the field and play when everything else was really shut down. But it sucked not having fans. It sucked not doing the things that, you get through training camp because you have meals with the guys, because you laugh in the meetings rooms. Like practices are tough, but all those things make playing the game even better. And we haven't decided where our first stop's going to be, but we'll definitely put it back on the docket for sure.
You ready for the Super Bowl chance from those fans today?
Yeah, it's exciting, man. I think, the fans are rightfully excited, and they've had not as much to cheer for, so they're coming out firing, and we're going to, try and work and put on a show for them.
How weird was it to practice training camp without, it was so quiet last year in training camp. Is that different for you?
Oh, yeah. It was, training camp, it's the fans, it's the, kind of theatrics that go along with it, and it kind of gets you through the day seeing some of those things. So to have nothing there, I didn't realize it was going to prepare us for the season, because some of those games last year were unbelievably quiet, and it was so weird. But yeah, I'm excited to have him back, and it should be good.
Tuned up your Here We Go Brownies chant?
Oh yeah, I mean they're ready. I mean usually get like the name chants the first day and stuff like that. So we'll see what they got today.